Some of those Arnold Schwarzenegger films of the 1980s have gone on to be considered great classics of modern cinema, such as The Terminator. A lot of people really love Predator. A lot of people really love Conan Barbarian. I happen to be a big fan of all three of those films. I think they're magnificent, actually. Some people have a soft spot for, say, 1985's Commando. It's very understandable. And then there are those who would see something like Raw Deal and then think, this is not good like the other ones. This is crummy. Now, if we lower the bar and we're frustrated, annoyed, and discontent, decide you just want to sit down for the sofa and some 80s Schwarzenegger film, you watch Commando 10 times in your life, you think maybe you want something a bit different, you try out Raw Deal, you'll be very, 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 very happy in that instance. In that defeated, dilapidated state, Raw Deal is everything you might want out of one of these films. It has aged very, very well in a respect as an example of the macho claptrap that people like from the 80s, and it has undergone a metamorphosis into a piece of novelty, an oddity of history's indulgent, excessive, testosterone-laden bravura of the mid-1980s. This is almost Schwarzenegger's Cobra. If Commando was probably a response to Rambo First Blood Part 2, and then Cobra was the attempt to do the more serious kind of fascistic cop film, well, fascistic, by fascistic I mean, Piliciteschi, essentially. And then Raw Deal, I think, is the Cobra of Schwarzenegger's filmography. Not as photographically impressive as Cobra is, as I said in the previous video about Cobra. Watching Cobra as a Blu-ray, we realize that this is an act of cinematographic splendor to some degree. Violent and crass it is also. Raw Deal, Schwarzenegger going undercover in order to bring down a crime syndicate in middle America. I must say, I found it everything I would have hoped it to be. And my expectations were low. I always knew of this one as not being very well considered. Although, as I insinuated in a previous video, The Running Man, it has what I would call my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner of all time. Arnold's spouse is not particularly happy that they've moved to this town. They don't know anyone. He's taken up this job in the police department, and he's away from home all the time. He's working so much. She never gets to see him. She bakes him this lovely cake, and he's not home in time. He's at home must be past 9 p.m. She's even got this nice bottle of wine out for them to share. She's decided she's just drunk it all herself. She presents him for the cake, but in her fury, in her disappointment, she throws it toward him. His reflexes are pretty good, and her coordination isn't the best, obviously, inebriated from drinking most of the alcohol there. Cake hits the wall, slides down. Schwarzenegger looks at the remains, looks up at her, shakes his head, disappointed. You should not drink and bake.